Yo, what's up YouTube? This is Reese here from CeeManga and welcome to my review of One Piece Chapter 729, Shichibukai Law vs Shichibukai DonFlamingo. You know what, this chapter here, it was actually alright, it's full of a hell of a lot of content, which is kind of surprising, it's kind of going back to like how old school One Piece was, there's like so much happened in one chapter and we weren't treated to like billions and billions of flashbacks which last friggin' ages. So anyway, onto this chapter. Bellamy, he kind of looked like he actually might have went through the whole assassination with Luffy. All of that just to become like, what, an executive staff member. But you know what? I doubt he ever would have gone through it in the first place because, like, this type of thing happens in so many other things, like movies, mangas, anime, all that stuff. Like, yeah, I'm going to go defeat this guy who was really nice to me. And then they'll get like a little flashback of them being nice. And it's like, oh, they start tearing up. They can't do it and drop it. So, yeah, that's why I'm thinking, obviously, he won't go through with it. His whole demeanor just seems a lot different. And well, Don is probably thinking the exact same thing that I was because he sent some like eco looking chick there called Dellinger, I think that's how you say it, to basically just like kill Bellamy if he fails. So yeah, this Dellinger girl, she must be really, really strong. She must be a hell of a lot stronger than she looks because, like, seriously, if you look at her, you would not think like she can actually kill anyone. She just looks like some little fangirl. So hell, I didn't even know she was a girl until I actually looked at the bloody heels that she was wearing. So yeah, I think it's a girl. I'm not 100%. So anyway, on to the title fight of this chapter, which is Law versus Don. And my god, Law, I hate to say it, but he was getting his ass handed to him. It's like, seriously, it was like no match for DonFlamingo at that moment. So I'm guessing he kind of like used up a bit too much of his strength when he was in that little three-way fight, because yeah, it was obviously saying like, yep, he knew that DonFlamingo was going to be a lot stronger than him, so he was obviously saving himself up. But I don't think he like kind of anticipated that Tiger dude coming in. So yeah, that must have literally drained him twice as much as he usually would have. But anyway, their fight is completely interrupted by the diamond dude. I'm not even too sure if they even said his name, but he's like, the guy who wears the diamonds. He kind of like talks about Violet's betrayal, which I think like that was kind of like, okay, Don kind of knew about that. He's kind of been clocking on slowly about what the whole overall plan is. He ends up sending one of his top guys to Smile Factory. I think the guy's name was Lao G. So I'm guessing that Frankie's team, they're going to end up running into this guy, taking him on. I wonder who he actually is. Like, I don't know, for some reason I get the feeling that he might be the dude who has a suit of clubs on him. I'm guessing. I don't fully know, but that's kind of like what I'm picturing. So yeah, I'm guessing that Frankie's group, they're going to have to try to take this guy on. So that's going to like be a big hiccup. I don't know who's going to be able to take him on, because I'm not sure, like Zoro and Kinemon, they're obviously outside the tournaments, outside the Coliseum. So will they go in and help Luffy, or will they go back and help Frankie's group? I'm not really too sure. But either way, it looks like that the Suit of Diamonds dude, he is going to be closing off the finals for the tournament. So it looks like Luffy is going to have to take this guy on. So yeah, finally going to see how strong these Suit of Card dudes are, because, we saw a little bit of them in a flashback, and they did kind of like take out all of King Riku's army. So they have to be pretty strong. So anyway, back to, after this, obviously, Law, he says something cryptic, like about how D will bring another storm. So I'm not really too sure what he's talking about. Obviously, he's talking about the whole Will of D thing, but what is the context of this storm thing? Is he kind of like is it like, because like when I hear this, it's reminding me back to like when they were in, oh gosh, what was that place? Either just before Luffy was about to get like beheaded on the gallows, where Gold Roger did, and then his dad, the whole kind of storm thing, which allowed Luffy to escape and all that crap. And everyone thought, oh my gosh, that means Luffy's special because he was able to escape the gallows. So is it that type of thing, or is it kind of like saying, someone with a D initial is basically gonna fuck up things? That seems more like a bit more obvious about it. But anyway, other than that, on to the whole kind of outside the Coliseum, where we have Luffy chatting with Zoro and Kinemon. And you know what? I've got to say, like, it's kind of weird, the little situation they're in. They're like obviously having a little meeting together, and they're like calling the rest of the Straw Hats via the Den Mushi. But what's weird is they're supposed to be all like incognito and everything, like, all secret, but they're screaming and shouting to each other, and the Den Mushi, it's like, when you're on the phone with it, it's like having your phone on speaker. So everyone's going to be hearing that conversation. So it's kind of a bit like, what the hell does this all mean? But anyway, on the phone, on the Dendens, obviously Frankie's, obviously the whole group, Frankie's basically asking for permission to go wild, taking out, like, you know, going with the whole army, taking out Smile Factory, taking out, just overthrowing DonFlamingo. Luffy gives him his whole, like, you know, his blessing, which is pretty good. So that means, like, that whole, like, overthrow plan's finally coming to fruition. But then there is one thing which I'm not really too sure about, which is obviously, like, you know, Sanji and the others, they're all on the boat. Like, whether they're actually going to go and head off to somewhere or whether they're going to come back and help out. Because I don't really see the point in them going off to somewhere else when they're fine. The whole reason they ran off like that is because DonFlamingo was, like, coming down on them hard. Sanji just got defeated and they don't obviously have enough power to take him on. So that was obviously like, you know, run away now, come back and fight another day. So hopefully they do just turn the ship around, head back into Sora and just help out with the rest of the Straw Hat crew, you know, take on the rest of DonFlamingo's family, because it's obviously going to be a bit much for, what, 6 members plus the whole friggin' little army of toys and dwarfs. I doubt they'll really be able to help too much. But anyway, all this whole little kind of like conversation that got interrupted by the arrival of DonFlamingo and Law finishing off their fight as it came to a dirty conclusion. Yeah, so the conclusion was obviously Don being the victor, and he just proceeded to just rain hail of bullet fire down on Law, who's just lying there completely defeated. It's like, what's kind of crazy here is just the fact that he's actually doing that in front of an entire crowd of people. So he's supposed to be, like, you know, their new beloved king, and they're just seeing him, like, massacring a dude with a gun. So what are they going to start thinking? You know, they already started thinking that King Riku's horrible when he just ran through the town killing everyone. So what are they going to think when they see DonFlamingo doing all this, like, to this guy? Like, looking like he's killing a guy in cold blood. It's like, how the hell is he going to explain his way out of this one? Or will this kind of, like, be the catalyst to start the whole King Riku's family coming back onto the throne or something? You know, will this be the part where everyone's like, maybe DonFlamingo is actually a bad guy. Oh my gosh, what have we done? Where's the we want the old king back. He was at least good enough to do this. He helped us through this many years. Or some crap like that. I don't know. But yeah, either way, I'd like to see how the hell he's going to kind of like explain his way out of this one. So yeah, that there pretty much ends this chapter up here, guys. I thought it was a really decent chapter, you know. I really enjoyed it. It was actually quite good. Mood pacing's pretty nice. Moved pretty quick. Next week we're on hiatus until, I think they said, after the 2nd week of the new year. So that's at least a month and a half off. Maybe you might get something in between then. Don't know. Hopefully we do. But yeah, I guess we're not going to have any more One Piece for a little while now. So this chapter here, I guess it was a decent chapter to kind of like roll off to that hiatus. So, you know the usual, guys. Let me know what you thought about this chapter in your comments below. As usual, if you enjoyed the video, give it a little thumbs up. Helps out a lot. And don't forget to check out what else we've got on the channel. So I'll see you soon.